And we're back.
Okay, then whatever. Josh is host. Josh is host. He knows
You're
the
damn
most.
right I am.
Yeah,
because
go.
you were late. But
Yeah.
we are back. Thank you for continuing hanging out with us here on the seventh inning stretch. We had to lose Darren. He had some things to do, but if you caught in on the back 10 minutes of the last episode, Tyler decided to join in with us. We're still talking about winter meetings and wrapping up, and we're talking about, I think the next thing we're going to talk about is guys who are still available as free agents. So you guys have any comments, make sure you get into the chat. Let us know what you guys think. Tyler's got his hand up for some reason. I don't know why.
Frozen.
Nope, he was frozen.
Yeah. So, I think the number one is, like I said earlier, the number one is Carlos Correa. I don't know if you guys talked about this, but the Dodgers kind of threw their fans under the bus. They were like, "Oh, we're not signing Carlos Correa because we don't think that our fans will accept him." And I was like, once he starts hitting, they're gonna accept him just fine. I think that was kind of bullshit, and they were just kind of trying to find an excuse not to spend as to why they weren't spending money this offseason. But that's just me. Where does Carlos Correa fit? Because it feels like there's only like a niche place where he can actually fit.
Chicago.
It's got to be somewhere where he's not going to have the pressure of being the number one guy for a franchise, or at least like that written into the plan. Like, I could still see him going to Baltimore, but Baltimore would very obviously have to, make other signings, make a bigger splash than Correa at some point in the very near future, just to stabilize that franchise. But he can't, like you said earlier, he can't really be like the guy, or else your team's not really going to go that far.
Yeah. It's kind of funny though, because last year he signed a $35 million deal, and this year he opted out, and now he's probably going to actually lose money on this deal. It seems like he's going to make less money than he did. Just
Wasn't
because
his deal in Minnesota a 2-year deal?
It was a 3-year deal, but they were all option years.
Yeah.
So he should have stayed one more year, opted out, and waited for the shortstop market to be.
Well, the thing is that it was a perfect year, but Trey Turner just kind of went below market value on everything, and that kind of screwed everything else up. But I think Scott Boras wouldn't let, because he switched agencies, and so last year, and so the reason why he opted out was also because he wanted Scott Boras wanted to make more money, and it was this whole thing, and that was why he opted out, and that's why he took a short year deal. That's why he took so many opt-outs and all that crap. But anyways, where do you think he's going?
Well, I know who will come in second, and that's the San Francisco Giants.
You think they would go after him, though?
Absolutely. They need to get more athletic. They're so unathletic. They're so, Carlos Correa would be a perfect fit. As far as him, his personality, wanting to not be the main guy, maybe that wouldn't fit. But, as far as his skill set, he'd fit that team perfectly, because he can run, he can hit, he can play defense, and he's athletic. And with no more shifts going on, you're going to need more athletic guys, and this Giants team is very unathletic.
Yeah. Ryan, what do you think?
I don't know. It's so hard to say because there have been some surprise spenders this offseason. Like I said, the Angels shocked the hell out of me that they're selling their team and spending. That doesn't make any sense. I could see him going to Chicago, the Cubs. I could see him going to the north side there. I still like Baltimore. I think they need to do something. You can't come, within 2 games of getting a wild card spot and then just kind of sit on your hands. So,
they got Kyle Gibson, so they're set.
Okay, so now we project them 4 games back of a wild card spot instead of actually improving this year.
Yeah.
So
Would it
But
not be
what do you
funny
think
if he ended up in Miami?
That'd be
what was that, Josh?
I said, wouldn't it be funny if he ended up in Miami?
As a Phillies fan, no, because Miami's been a thorn in our side for like 10 years. I can't stand that team.
Well, they've retooled that whole team. Skip Schumacher got hired as their GM, and he's bringing in all former Cardinals coaches.
Just as
they
long
have
as he doesn't bring in
the-
John Jay to trigger the shit out of me from Game 5 in 2011.
He's throwing out the first pitch.
God, against
Yeah,
the Phillies, dude, I
Yeah,
would
right.
rage out. I was like, we're gonna lose 1-0.
But I mean,
Yeah, right. What are your
I don't
thoughts,
know. I
Tyler?
think Miami's got something to build around.
You think so? I don't. That it just doesn't seem like they're trying to be very competitive. That's the thing.
I agree with you, but if they did that, they could have some draw. I mean, you think about it this way: Florida doesn't have any state income tax, so you're going to make more money in Florida. They have good young talent down there with Jazz Chisholm, Sandy Alcantara. They've got a new manager. They're bringing in a new coaching staff. That team has potential to be something, and they like to play spoiler on teams from time to time. You bring in a guy like Carlos Correa, you go pick up a couple upper mid-level signings in the offseason. You've got a team that can not win their division, but they could be in the running for a wild card potentially, depending on what other teams do during the season. And then you're on your way to getting better and better. That's all I'm saying. I don't think he'll go there, but I think it would be a very interesting show if he did.
Can I ask a question real quick? What are your guys' thoughts like on Carlos Correa as a whole? Like, what's the stat line you like would predict is a generic? Doesn't matter what stadium he's playing in. You put them all together. Like, what's his stat line?
I'd say like a 270 hitter, like 330, 340 OBP. He's not big on walking, but he can hit like 25 home runs if I had to throw like a dart at a board, and then probably like an 830 OPS.
He had 22 home runs last year, 64 RBIs, which just doesn't matter because you're playing for the Twins. 366 on base, 834 OPS and a 140 OPS plus.
Ryan was on it.
Damn.
So what
I'm
type
good.
of contract is it? This is gonna get you. This guy's gonna get a decent contract. It's not gonna be like some.
No.
If
No.
Brandon Nimmo is bringing in 8 years, 162. know he's
I think
been on the-
I think Correa ends up between Bogarts and Turner in that like $2 million gap that there is.
You think he's ending up lower than? I mean, yeah, I agree that he should get less money than
Turner.
But at the same time, the Cardinals, and I wanted to bring this up earlier, but something happened. But I think the Cardinals went into the winter meetings thinking, listen, we can make a push for Trey Turner later or a shortstop later. Right now, we just have to focus on a shortstop or a catcher. And then
And they got the wrong one.
Huh?
And they got the wrong one.
Well, hold on. That's a Cardinals Chronicles. But then Trey Turner signed in the morning or in the afternoon, and then everybody started losing their minds. And then right then and there, they started switching all their focus on a shortstop, which was Dansby Swanson. And I think a lot of people thought they would have more time in the shortstop market because, Trey Turner. Me, Ryan, and everyone on here thought Xander Bogaerts was not going to sign first. Carlos Correa was not going to sign first. And Trey Turner was really not, he shouldn't sign first. We thought this was going to go all the way at least until January. So the fact that it got done in the second day of winter meetings through a whole thing. So all that trying to say is I think there's becoming an urgency to sign a shortstop because now two of the biggest names are off the market. And so now not the Angels, but the Cubs are involved. The Cardinals are somewhat involved. Who else was there?
Hopefully the Giants are involved in something.
The Giants are involved in something. The
Just to come
Mariners
in
were
second.
kind of in there. There are some teams, even the Yankees to a certain extent are somewhere in here. And so I think that's going to kind of bring a market value up on Carlos Correa. And so I think he's kind of he's a solid, consistent hitter who is great defensively. And I think they're going to love that, which is why I had him going to the Phillies, because he was a defensive stability in a very non-defensive team.
Bro, do you see our defense? We don't care about defense.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was saying you would
why
upgrade
you
on
lost the World
defense. No,
Ryan, can I say I fucking hate
pitching lost them. You hate the what?
the Phillies.
Oh,
They're gonna be good, and it hurts my feelings.
Hey, when I was growing up, we had that little run for like 5 years of homegrown players. Now it's our turn to just be the fucking Yankees, I guess.
I'll never forget the Jonathan Sanchez starting a little fighting game, whatever that was, to turn around that series.
Yeah,
But
I respected Sanchez, but I hated him after that.
So yeah, Josh, who else? Like, speaking of the Marlins, they are talking about how they think Pablo Lopez is going to get traded. Do you guys have an idea of where you think he's going?
Trading to the Cardinals for Steven Matz, Dakota Hudson,
Yeah,
and
Harrison
Matthew
Bader,
Liberatore.
Matt
Harrison
Carpenter.
Bader's Yankee, dumbass.
I know. That's what I'm
Barber's
saying.
Yankee.
That's what I'm
Um,
saying. All
I
those,
mean, if
all
he is
the young
available
get
for
rid of
trade,
him.
he's probably the best starting pitcher out there on the market.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely better
Oh,
than
yeah.
Rodon.
is he better than Rodon?
I
yeah.
would say so.
I would
Rodon
take
kind
him
of.
before Rodon because of age.
I would disagree. Watching Rodon this year really impressed me. I think Rodon might go on one of those injury sprees if he gets signed to a long-term deal. But for
Yeah.
1 year, if you have
Right.
one of them, take Rodon.
Is that why he's not getting signed? Is because he wants like what, a 6-year deal, and they're only wanted to give him like a 3-year deal?
He wants
think-
Scott
Right.
Perez to do his work for him.
Yeah. I gotta look that up. Josh, where? Oh
Go ahead.
no, go ahead, Tyler, because I was trying to think of what question I was going to ask Josh right there.
I just see Rodon in New York at the Yankees. I think he's going to go to the Yankees.
Well, it seems
That's
like
what
they're
I
more
think too,
interested
Josh.
in Senga. That Senga pitcher, the Japanese guy,
Well, did you hear the
got
one
signed today.
Japanese dude just signed with Boston?
Boston. Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked him. I didn't know that. He kind of made a big splash whenever he said, "Oh yeah, I'm coming to the majors," and then he got picked up pretty quickly. I think he's
I
going to
thought
be
the Cardinals
something
might
cool.
pick him up just because the Cardinals like to go with those Asian guys from Japan and Korea and whatnot.
No, they like to go with the mid-level guys. That's why they got
Well,
Siwano and Kwang Young Kim.
Hey, Boston
Look at
has
us.
a
KK was
Me and
good.
you feel each other's pain.
Boston has a history. They went out and got Daisuke.
What was that?
Boston has a history of going and getting those Japanese guys. They went out and got Daisuke, and they had a Deki Okajima for a while.
Yuhara too, but he was a pitcher. That I think that's going to be interesting. I wonder what that Yoshida guy's like mind thought, or like what he was thinking whenever he signed with the Red Sox. Like, I'm going to have to hit over that fucking wall now, or maybe he thinks of it as great challenge.
The Great Wall of China, Great Wall of Boston.
Okay,
Do you think he wondered where the Paul Revere trail was?
he probably doesn't give two fucks about Paul
Like,
Revere.
where did he hang those lamps at?
Yeah, right.
Logan's like, what lamps? I don't know what lamps you're talking about.
One if by air and two if by sea, or whatever that stuff.
Yeah, sure, man. The
yeah,
Brits
they had
back in
planes back
the
then.
1700s were coming with an air raid.
Yes.
Napalm incoming.
Yeah.
Call of Duty, baby.
Bringing T-bombs. Anyways,
Oh.
moving on.
T-bombs, that wasn't bad.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll be here all night.
Since you were late to the party, you do have to be.
Hey, I don't
all
think I reintegrate it, but at least your GM isn't Joe Biden. To get back.
I wonder what
Oh,
baseball
shit.
trade values had that one on at valued.
Yeah,
we've had him on
whenever
the
the
show.
Grinder
Grinder
We
is
should
at
message him,
6,
find out.
and
Hop
No.
on MLB The Show. I'll let you know what they say in a second.
yeah, right.
That was like Arenado. I can't even say his name right now.
Nolan Arenado.
Arenado to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
One-sided as it comes.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. This whole thing is gone off the handles. Are you guys surprised that you haven't heard anything from Joey Gallo?
A little
No.
bit, yeah. I mean, Bellinger got a deal before Gallo did. That kind of surprised me.
That's true.
I don't know where he would go. It seems like it's going to be the Cardinals, and I hate that.
No.
Oh,
Speaking
not
of
going to St.
mid-level
Louis.
guys,
yeah. Which kind of made me laugh because I texted Jason, our Dodger fan friend, and I said they're dumpster diving like the Cardinals did last year. And anyways, but Joey Gallo,
did you see the Dodgers just signed Jason Hayward on a minor league contract?
yeah,
Yeah. Sorry for that.
the one like getting Shelby Miller and Jason Hayward. It's like the one-hit wonders from the last 10 years. Remember
Can you
when,
imagine looking
that's
back
the
on
truth.
the Shelby Miller for Dansby Swanson trade and be like, that's a good deal.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and like Jason Hayward was supposed to be like such a highly touted prospect, like the LeBron James. Like they were following him since he was like 15 years old or something.
Oh, yeah, dude. Braves fans thought he was the next Andrew Jones when he came to the majors, dude. It was...
I mean,
Yep.
he technically did turn into Andrew Jones.
Yeah, well, at least Andrew Jones waited until he was 30 to fall completely off the face of the
15
earth.
years too early.
Yeah, right. But yeah, but Joey Gallo, like I kind of expected the Rangers to go after him, but it seems like they're disinterested in that. Maybe Joey Gallo could go to the Giants. That kind of makes sense to me now.
That makes
No,
perfect. You're making too much sense, Logan. You're hurting me.
Listen, I tried to. I try to make sense
You're
here.
making
But like
way too much.
he's such a good defender and
Exactly. They'll sell us on his defense. They'll strike out 800 times. And be like, come to the ballpark. It's beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
so sad. Like Joey Gallo's like probably one of the better athletes considering like his size. Like he's just such an athlete and he just can't hit a baseball worth of shit.
yeah, that's it's disappointing.
But if he does, it'll go 420 feet.
Yeah, if he hits it, I mean, let me know like every sixth game or so. I'll post up in McCovey Bay, or McCovey Cove, so that way I can go catch his home run ball.
I'm getting depressed.
Yeah, right.
You're a Giants fan. You're always depressed.
The Bellinger thing.
Hey, I remember Game 6, Barry Zito against.
Okay, that's just hurtful.
Barry
He threw the
Zito,
first
dude.
shot.
Wow.
He threw the first shot.
I saw a documentary on like the worst contracts ever signed, and it was like the Giants signing Barry Zito, and I forgot just how bad he was for the Giants that entire contract. And then 2 fucking games. Anyways, no. Bad, Tyler. Trying to bring me down with you right now. With that
I was on my way
2012.
down on my own, and someone had to bring up negative.
Gosh, that hurts. But yeah, Bellinger. I don't know. Have you guys talked about Bellinger?
No.
No. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Like, I was saying, like that's probably the best deal for him. Going on a 1-year contract to the Cubs because Wrigley Field is a very hitter-friendly park. The wind's going to help you out, which is going to help you out in your confidence. and they're kind of in a division race, but they're not unless they get Carlos Correa. Then they're full speed ahead. But like that's interesting to me for him. Like I don't think it's anything to the Cubs, but for him, I think that's a big deal. Like out of all the places that would have worked for him, I think like that would have been the top choice. That or the Reds, I honestly think. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, actually, now that you say the Reds would have made a lot of sense. But I do for Bellinger, I do like the 1 year deal. 17.5 is probably a little bit on the heavier side, but that just seems to be the way the contracts are going. That and you're kind of paying for the name there. But he needs to find a way to turn it around. So I think Wrigley was a good spot. I probably would have gone Cincinnati. Now that you say that, a little bit of a launching pad out there in Great American, so it boosts those numbers a little bit for next offseason. But yeah, I like this for Bellinger, and I'm just like the big name dudes. I'm kind of surprised that there was interest in him like this so early in the offseason.
Yeah. Well, he's got so much potential too, but like, yeah, $17 million. That's way too much for Cody Bellinger right now.
Another great athlete that just all of a sudden can't fucking hit the ball.
Yeah. It's hard to do whenever you're stoned out of your gourd every night. Tyler, what do you think of Bellinger?
I actually like the signing for the Cubs. I think it gives, like, at worst, he's going to be a Gold Glove defender in center field. He's not, as far as hitting goes, he definitely has holes in his swing. But I would have taken him on the, maybe not for $17.5 million. That's a little steep, but I like Bellinger as a player. I think maybe because he hit that double to win the series against the Giants. But I like Bellinger. I don't think he's like the greatest player of all time. I don't think he's going to put you over the top, but as the Cubs, he's a great player to add before you add like a Carlos Correa or a Dansby Swanson.
Yeah. Josh?
Just like most of the other guys right now, way overpaid. 1 year prove-it deal. I like that, though. He's betting on himself, taking the early money and not waiting until all the money's gone and nobody can pay him. I think it was smart on his part, to be honest. We'll see what happens. I'm going to like beating him up during the regular season.
You knock on some wood there, Josh. Will you stop doing that?
I about
Jameson?
almost every prediction I had last year except the World Series.
Jameson Taillon getting 4 years, $68 million.
My Yankee friend was laughing his ass off. He was like, I can't believe Jameson Taillon is getting paid that kind of money right now.
Where'd he go?
Cubs. He signed with the Cubs, and I mean the Cubs had a pretty productive underrated winter meetings. And so Jameson Taillon getting him, I mean, I think I was telling my Yankee friend, I said, if he starts like turning into a number one guy, I think the Yankees need to fire their pitching coach because Cole went kind of bad whenever he joined the Yankees. And then Jordan Montgomery turned into like the greatest ace of all time whenever he joined the Cardinals for about 5 minutes. And then now if Taillon like just does better, then I think that's going to be ridiculous. But I think he's a solid guy. Tyler?
I like James. I don't know about James. I'm just talking about as far as like Garrett Cole, you could blame that on the sticky stuff.
Yeah.
The Jordan Montgomery, the Cardinals always figure out guys who are like mid-tier pitchers. That's one thing that's great about the Cardinals, as much as you probably as a fan don't respect as much someone who isn't a fan, like realize like, wow, they always figure something out, like how they get these people out. And then who was the third guy you mentioned on the Cardinals?
Montgomery?
No, maybe it was another Yankee.
Taillon.
I mean, Taillon. I didn't even know he was a starter. I still thought he was a middle reliever.
Oh. Yeah, no, there was.
It seems like an absurd contract. I would not have signed him to that contract.
Yeah. Yeah, Jameson Taillon was weird. Josh, do you have any thoughts on that one? What do you think of the Cubs winter meetings, Josh?
I think they did better than the Cardinals. I mean, I think they've been
Sassy to the
sneaky
end.
good. This winter meetings. If I was a Cubs fan, I would be fairly pleased with what's going on. Contreras obviously didn't like what he was getting offered in Chicago, and it seems like he wanted out. Probably go play for a World Series instead of playing in a rebuilding organization. So, I mean, that's the one thing he wanted coming into St. Louis because St. Louis is typically always there. But if I was a Cubs fan, I'd at least say, hey, we're on the right path forward to get back to where they were in, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Okay.
Did we lose Tyler?
Yeah, he lost service. So who do you think had the best winter meetings this week?
Phillies.
You can
Phillies
be biased.
by a long shot. Phillies by a long shot. I mean, I don't think anybody else has been close.
I would say
Yankees saved their rear getting Judge back.
other teams had good winter meetings, but like the Phillies definitely did have the best. Like I think Houston had a pretty good winter meeting. I think getting Jose Abreu for them was a good signing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, the Phillies and the Cubs really impressed me this year or this week. Is there anything else we need to talk about, you think? Or
So
How
I
about-
have a question.
okay.
How about Jock Peterson accepting his qualifying offer despite his best year of his career?
I guess he likes doing that nomad thing. Like just going
He
it
loves
by
it.
year and just taking it however he wants. Like I thought he would have probably gotten some money, like $25 a year.
Well, looking at the Nimmo contract, I'm sure he's kicking himself in the ass right now.
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess he likes what
for
the
sure.
Giants are doing. So
I mean, so my question is, and this is going to probably be out of left field. You guys probably haven't thought about it. Have we seen the end of Chapman?
no. Phillies are about to sign him.
Hey, you stop that. You stop that right now.
You know it fits.
No.
No, it doesn't. He does not fit at all. He's a cancer. He's a fucking prick. Do you think what he did to the Yankees about not showing up to the postseason practices, whatever it was, whatever it's classified as, do you think that could be possibly the end of his career
Yeah, I
with
think
his
that,
age?
yeah, I think there's a very good possibility. What's he like 36, 37? He's got to be at least in his mid
I
30s by
thought he
now.
was closer to 40. I thought he was closer to 40.
But yeah,
thought he was
I actually
37,
think that
yeah.
his career is over. I mean, it's not really much of a talent issue. Granted, he's not what he was when he first came from Cuba, but age will do that to you.
34 years old.
Yeah, and people will
man.
always need bullpen arms, but I think that sent off a really bad message, and I don't think anybody's going to invest the money that he's going to want to have him on their team.
I sure wouldn't.
I feel like someone is gonna try to pay him, and it's gonna be like some weird team. I'm sure the Angels might do something.
Baltimore.
The Red Sox.
Red Sox. I don't
Red
know.
Sox would do that out of spite.
Because he's gonna do some he had a weird 2 years with the Yankees. But I mean, you still remember he throws over 100 miles an hour, and he's just still whenever he's on. He's a dominant guy. Well, maybe the Reds will come back and be like, "Oh yeah, we want you back." I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by
Finish your
that.
career with us.
Yeah,
That'd be funny.
I think this year he's going to sign a contract with someone, maybe the Angels, someone that's not going to be very good. He's going to do lights out work, and then he's going to get traded at the middle of the season, and then everyone's going to forget
So
about it.
playoff contender.
Yeah. That's my thought. Is he's going to go to a shitty team, and that's it. Then get traded to the Phillies.
Stop. Do not put that evil on us, Ricky Bobby.
Oh gosh, that's good. But yeah,
Man. Where do you
quickly.
guys think
go
Dansby
ahead.
Swanson's up?
I still think the
Like,
Cardinals.
legit, where do you think he goes?
I think the
I don't
Cardinals.
think so. I don't think they're going to spend the money.
I still think he goes to LA. I think the Dodgers need a shortstop.
Most definitely.
It sounds like did you I don't know if it was on The Athletic or where it was, but there was a story that was like they didn't pay Trevor Bauer last year and they spent that money, so they're having to back pay him. So they owe him like $86 million right now.
Wow.
That's
And
a lot of money.
like there's a whole bunch of shit like they're going through right now. And it's kind of like everything hit the fan once. Like they have a lot of money, but they kind of overextended themselves right then. And I'm like, oh my gosh,
When is Trevor Bauer due to come back?
next year.
I was about to
End
say,
of
I think
next
it's
year.
after
Yeah.
next, like after.
Well, yeah, the
2023.
opening day of like 25 then. Because it's a
Who knows where
2-year.
he can be at that point?
I think it's 2024, like May 2024, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think that's right, actually. So I thought it was 2 years from this year.
Yeah.
So it'd be 24. And where does Bassett end up? Or did he sign somewhere and I missed it?
No, he didn't sign anywhere yet. I thought he was going to be a Philly, but since they signed Taijuan Walker, that's probably out of the equation.
I like Chris Bassett, but I don't know. I guess he's gonna want too much money.
Well, the longer they hold out, the less money they'll take.
Yep. It's so hard to predict where the pitchers are going to go because like every team needs pitching. Like there's nobody that's just like, yep, we're good. Like he could go back to the Mets.
Very well. Could. I mean, they're pretty well set now, but I mean, he could.
I mean, money's not a real object to them. So
It sounded like it.
They've proven
They
that.
were kind of hit. They were kind of hit too. They were so far over the luxury tax. I think you tweeted about
Dude,
that.
they're going to be near
Yeah.
$400 million on opening day.
Oh, here's something
Barring
I
no
wanted to
major
talk
changes.
about. Look, fans, I love you guys, but the Phillies are not spending $1 billion this year. They do not have $1 billion in player payroll this year. When they like John Boy Media, they put out that meme that, or not meme, but that thing that said Phillies have a $1 billion thing and they or payroll, and someone was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're spending all this money this year. And I'm like, no. They're not spending $1 billion this year. It's all together. That's Trey Turner, Schwarber, and Harper, and all those guys together. And I'm like,
Castellanos, Romuto,
Castellanos,
Nola,
Realmuto.
Wheeler.
yeah, I'm like, no, stop it. And it drove me crazy because everyone is like, and what this just shows how expensive baseball is becoming. I'm like, shut up. Anyways, so that's all I really have to say about it.
Jesus.
I saw that the other day and I was like, come on, guys.
But yeah,
Show a little bit of brain
I
cells.
know what tweet you're talking about. I think the Mets are going to pay like 90% tax on every dollar that they've spent because of how far they are over the luxury tax or something like that.
And you look at their team, they spent all their money on Scherzer and Verlander, and then Lindor,
And then
and
Nimmo.
and then Nimmo,
And then
now
Diaz. Diaz
Diaz
got
is-
5 for 102.
Yep, Diaz got that huge contract.
Quintana's at
For a
13
reliever.
million a year.
Yeah, that's another thing we'll talk about on Cardinals Chronicles, where I think that's presented a huge problem. Never seen Cardinals Twitter turn on Adam Wainwright so quickly.
Screw you, Adam. You were supposed to retire, you old bitch.
Well, yeah, I haven't told Josh this theory yet, but I think the Cardinals were not wanting to pay him this year, but they knew if he said I'm coming back for one more year, the fans would not let the Cardinals live it down if they didn't give a contract to Wainwright. And so I think last year,
That's why he's getting deferred money for the next 10 years.
well, I was saying, like, I think last year they were lumping him in with the retirement party of Pujols and Yachty, and they were like, okay, come on. Okay, Wayno, you
Just
ride
kinda
out into the
forcing it.
sun with your friends, your best friends. Come on, Timmy. And so that's my thought.
That's the way it should have gone down, in my opinion.
Honestly, yeah.
100%.
And now, like, Wainwright's coming back, and that kind of threw a whole. I guarantee you that totally fucked up the entire Cardinals plan. And anyways, we'll talk about that more on Cardinals Chronicles on Wednesday, I think, right? Is it Wednesday or Monday?
Oh, well, we're hoping Wednesday.
Yay!
I still don't have a computer yet.
Yeah, that's coming. Anyways, I think we're gonna end the show soon because we've been going on for about 2 hours, and Josh needs to go home to take his nap.
No, we've been going on for about 2 hours. You have been going
We've
on
been
for
on for
like
about an hour.
Anyways, I love you guys. Thanks for coming. Any last thoughts? Josh, do you have any words of wisdom to go before we kick the bucket?
Have a fantastic rest of your week. Have a great weekend. Get your Christmas shopping done now so you're going to rush around and do it in a week and a half. Live every day like it's your last because you never know when things will come to an end.
Okay, then. Ryan.
that was inspiring.
It was, and then with a very scary undertone.
Yeah, I'm just going to follow up by telling you can find me on Twitter at BSing_sports. You can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, BSing Sports Podcast. Pretty self-explanatory there for that one. And ring the bell, baby. Going back.
Yeah, go Phillies. I am so glad I decided to go to a winning team that actually cares about putting a competitive team on the market.
For like 10 years, it was not that way. It
The
was a
Phillies,
lot of suffering and
the
crying.
Phillies seriously need to just change their name to Logan's Dream Team because they have Real Muto, Taijuan Walker, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper.
Come to the dark side, Logan.
Listen, I was strongly thinking about it. I was like, fuck this. I'm going to the Phillies. I'm joining BSing Sports, and we're going to do the Phillies show together.
I'm going to cut that part, and I'm going to send it to Brandon.
Yeah.
He's going to fire your ass.
He will fire me only in about 2 years. But anyways, Ryan, you want to plug your show? Speak of the devil.
Yeah, at BSing_sports on Twitter. You can find the link to our website there. It has our YouTube channel and Apple Podcasts and Spotify, BSing Sports Podcast. We have new episodes every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday because it's football season. We'll slow down a little bit when the Super Bowl's done.
Yep. Josh, I love you. I missed you. We don't talk anymore.
You too, buddy.
Yeah.
It's the off season. I was trying to give you a break.
It is. So 7th inning stretch will be coming back on the regular. I don't know if it's going to be on Mondays or Fridays anymore, but during the
We'll
off
let you
season.
know when we figure it out.
But I have decided that the next episode is going to be about the fucking baseball dirt. Yeah. It's a passion project of mine that I've been waiting to do on an episode. It's about the baseball mud that you coat the baseballs with, and it kind of gives you a little bit of grip. It's from a certain part in America that no one knows about except for this one family, and it's fucking awesome.
If you've listened to our show long enough, you've heard about this briefly in the past.
Yeah.
But it was very, very briefly. Logan's going to give us the full story.
Yeah. So, fun stuff. I will see you guys next time. Where's the fucking out? Oh, there it is. Live long, watch them day baseball. Peace out, motherfucker.